So here we are, middle to end of October. Probably our sump pumps are done for the year. It's one of those things that if it's raining a lot, or if it's really wet outside, or if it's been raining 2-3 inches or raining for a whole week, these things are going and going and going all summer. Now, depending on your area where you live, some of these are running all the time, like all winter long. If you have a high water table in your zone, there's a few in Edmonton like that where the sumps never quit. So if yours is done for the year, this is a very important thing, and I see this a lot. If we are working for a buyer and our home inspector is doing the sump pump inspection, which is one of the parts of the home inspection, they will always remove the lid. And if it happens to be April or May when we're doing a purchase with someone, we're shocked at what we see in here sometimes, because the last time your sump runs, it all depends where the water level ended up. It could be almost to trigger, and then it stayed there and quit filling for the year, if that makes sense. But if it just finished a pump out, that means the water is really low and it kind of trickled maybe for another day and then it didn't really fill up. And when that pump is left exposed to the oxygen inside your tub, that is where a whole bunch of chemistry happens between now and April, when the snow starts melting and the ground starts thawing and all the water starts flowing around the house again back into this sump. So think of the Titanic. It's over 100 years under the water and it is pretty well preserved. But if that ship was hanging out of the water, it would have rusted away and pretty much vanished by now. So what I want to show you on this one is, this one is done for the year. There's no more water coming in. I rinsed this off because I wanted to clean everything up and show everyone this. In this case, you'll see two pumps. The reason there's two pumps on this particular home is we're in a zone where the power goes off frequently because there is power lines here, and about once a week in the summertime the power should go off for maybe an hour or half an hour or flicker on and off. So we have installed a backup sump which has its own 12-volt system. The float on the backup system is set about 3 inches higher than the standard pump that is in there, that is 110 volt. I'm kind of going off topic with that, but as we showed you in here, you may have wondered why there was two pumps. So what I want to get at is, if I leave this pump like this, it just finished a pump out. So on this side, you'll see this pump it's wet right now, but it's going to dry up. And if there is a little bit of water in that barrel, it's creating humidity in here. It's creating a lot of humidity. And if this sump gets left the way you see it right now, it is going to be one big ball of rust by the springtime. And it may work and it may not work, because all the internal components of that motor will be rusted solid. Here's what you do. Make sure the water level in your sump is above the motor. Now, to do that, you may either have to fill it with some pails, but in my case, I have a tap from my laundry room with a hose. So what I'm going to do is fill this up. So now that we've got it full past the level, we want to add a few inches for evaporation, because it will evaporate over the next few months, and you don't want it to go low enough to actually expose the motor on the pump. So I've went a few inches higher. Once we put the lid on, this should stay nice and fresh till next spring. Now if you follow your line outside of your house is where the discharge hose is, and that is another thing that I want to show you. So come on, let's go outside. 9 times out of 10, everybody does this. They forget about putting this hose away because it's behind their house where they never go and they never look there. But this is a very important step if you don't want sump issues next spring. Disconnect this, roll up this hose, and put it away in your shed or in your garage, because what happens is the snow comes, this hose stays frozen solid, and it can't pump out. So if the pump should go on maybe once, it's going to go on top of the ground in the springtime, but then you can catch it and go put your hose back on. That's my tip for today. Thanks for watching.